What's good, family? So smash the like button, subscribe, and lick off the bell. Wow, I can't lie. People who know me know I'm a casual fan, and really I only watch big casual events. But after I saw the KO finish, I thought, you know what, this deserves, 100%, Mr. Lee. Put you to wood, 100%, Mr. Lee. Put you, no doubt about it. Lee, put you to wood. 100%. That's his new name from now. Never mind all these cheesy names like Lee the Body Snatcher. Listen, Lee, put you to wood. Yeah, your man Mickey Conlon was stiff as a board. From now on, his name is Mickey Wood. He's stiff. He's statue. Mickey the statue. 100%. Anyway, listen. Like I said, I ain't gonna sit here and tell you that I was hyped for this fight and I was watching it. I went back and backtracked. Yeah, I saw the KO and thought, wow, I need to lock in and watch this thing. And actually, on hindsight, or having watched the fight, I've got to give these cats a lot of respect. And in fact, both men's heart put, in general, the world of boxing to shame. Anthony Johnston should watch that fight. Because, trust me, these little nicks was getting it. They was getting all the way to it. Now, early in the fight, it was clear Conlon just had a little bit more class. And so for some reason, for the whole night, he couldn't miss with that lead left hook, lead left hand. He was just snapping it all night. But it almost was to a detriment to some extent. I think he made it a lot harder for himself. There was a few times when Mickey Conlon did throw the jab, he snapped. To be honest with you, most things that Mickey Conlon threw, Lee Wood was just eating them. And that's what happened. He got put down in the first round. He was on dodgy legs for the first 3 rounds because of that. But really, throughout the fight, even in the 10th round, even in the 11th round, I think maybe even in the 12th round, most things that Mickey Conlon threw were just rocking Lee Wood. And that really goes as a testament to Lee Wood. He never got discouraged. He came forward the whole night. And to some extent, this had some sort of parallels to Taylor versus Jack Casserole. Truth be known, you had that whole element of, number one, well, really the difference was that in this fight, Conlon and Lee Wood, they both wanted it. You could both tell you know what I'm saying? Your man Lee Wood, unlike Jack Casserole, he didn't want to leave nothing to the judges. Oops. Yeah, and it showed. He went in there in that last round and pulled it out the bag. That's what he did do. And again, I think Jack Casserole can learn a few things from what happened tonight. Learn from that. You can't tell me, that your man Jack Casserole had that kind of drive that either one of these two men had last night. Both of them, man, didn't want to lose. But anyway, back to the technical part. So, for the first 3 rounds of the fight, well, like I said, for the whole fight, Conlon, most things he threw was licking off Lee Wood clean. Now, whilst that was the case, I think as an argument, maybe Conlon he felt a bit too confident. In that last round, he was way too happy. I think maybe for the last few rounds, he got way too overconfident, thinking, well, and he was, I can't lie to you, he was getting the better of the exchanges. He was getting most of the head-rocking shots. Yes, Lee Wood scored a knockdown in the 11th, but it wasn't a heavy knockdown, it was more of a flash one. And arguably, Conlon said it was a slip. I believe it was a real knockdown, but either way. And unfortunately, Conlon ended up on the wrong end of overconfidence. He could have, bear in mind, he was, how many rounds was he up? This was easily an 8-4 or 9-3 fight. Yeah, probably a 9-3 fight or a 10-2 fight. No doubt about that. 9-3, 10-2 fight. Conlon could have sat back and just negotiated the last few rounds. Instead, I believe because of his success, because he wasn't missing with nothing. I was critical saying, why isn't Conlon, bear in mind Conlon's style is much more of a defensive backing up. Don't get me wrong, trust me, when Conlon was letting that back end snap, it was snapping. But he's not a guy, the whole fight, I didn't see Conlon press forward once. And to be fair with you, he didn't need to. He was doing the heavier work on the back foot. But being on the back foot and seeing that the few times he did actually commit with a jab, Conlon was snapping Lee Wood's head back. So it does beg the question for me, why wasn't he building? I think he could have made it a lot easier for himself, Conlon could have. and possibly even got the stoppage himself if he'd have built the jab into his game. The jab, really, yes, you can knock someone out with a lead right hand or a lead, or be a lead backhand, lead left hand or a lead straight hand in Conlan southpaw perspective. But to break someone down, you must use, I believe anyway, I think it's much easier to break someone down when you've got the left hook going and you've got or in Conlan's case, if you've got the right jab going and the right hook going, just to get that momentum. That's how you touch people all over. I didn't see really, apart from the few occasions he did commit, I didn't see him pumping it. I didn't see any double jabs. I didn't see him relying on a jab as a tool. And when you think about how Conlan's style is more defensive orientated, it was quite surprising to see. And I've got to give him credit, I've never seen someone so effectively pull off, not only so effectively, but so consistently pull off lead left lead backhand, lead back hooks. He was just licking up. I've never seen it, honestly. I can't think of a fighter he was so consistent with it. And it just goes to show to me that, number one, Leigh Wood's got a great chin. He was eating them all night. He was eating clean shots all night. But number two, it shows you how useless Ben Davison is. Ben Davison was extremely close tonight. Let's not get twisted here. Yes, we give Leigh Wood credit. He pulled the shot off, but let's call a spade here. Yeah, Ben Davison, that Leigh Wood, there's parallels here. Look at Leigh Wood, look at Josh Taylor. Yes, Leigh Wood in this occasion was able to pull it out of the bag, but they're both looking, in my opinion, very similar. Both men look very sloppy. Defense was close to non-existent. Let's be real now. Leigh Wood was eating everything clean, and the fact that he made Mickey Conlan's back hook look the best. I've never seen someone, that's what I said earlier, I've never seen someone land so many lead backhands off. Just for fun, he was landing it. That shouldn't be the case. You shouldn't get good fighters, especially world championship level fighters, shouldn't be getting caught with the same shot all night. And look at Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor, back when he was with Shane McGuigan, you'd never see him get caught with the same shot more than a few times. When he fought Jack Casserole, he got lit up with everything, and multiple times getting hit with the same shot. The whole night he was getting hit with the straight right hand from Casserole, again and again and again and again, just walking into it. And I hate to say it, but there are parallels. Not parallels. Let's be real now. They look the damn same. Josh Taylor and Leigh Wood under Ben Davison, they both have the same sloppy fair play. They've got the aggression. They've got something which a lot of fighters don't have. So I give credit for that. But it's no good having aggression when your head's getting licked off the whole night. That's not a sustainable strategy. It's not a sustainable style, because you're going to pay for it. I mean, let's be real now. How many years do you think Josh Taylor and even arguably Leigh Wood has taken off their careers? I don't care what no one says. There's no way it's healthy to be having your head snap back the whole night like that, even though you pulled off the good shot there. It's not good. And Ben Davison on this one, he's going to be gassed. But really, in a way, this has masked up the real underlying issues here. Leigh Wood got lucky, in my opinion. Again, great for him. But let's be real now. This is another indictment against Ben Davison, in my opinion. Mickey Conlan, he was just overconfident. Yeah, overconfident, and I actually think he believed that he was going to end up, because he was. The whole night, he was getting the better of the exchanges on the inside and on the outside. So I believe he thought, you know what, I don't need to play this safe. I think Conlan probably thought he was going to get the stoppage. That's why, in the last 2 rounds, for someone who was up so heavily, there was no need for Conlan to be exchanging like that. Don't get me wrong, I'm not someone who believes you should run around for the last championship rounds, but look at what's the last 2 rounds. Conlan stood in the pocket the most he did the whole fight in the last 2 rounds. That's not smart risk taking. And when you think about I can't lie to you, the whole fight, again, much like Jack Casserole and Josh Taylor, there was way too much clinching. Ironically enough, until the last 2 rounds. The last 2 rounds, I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, there was no clinching. All of a sudden, they were both standing there and exchanging. And that's when, in the post-fight interview, Leigh Wood said that God knows how he saw this, but Leigh Wood said in the last 2 rounds when they started exchanging, he said he saw the opening, or he was starting to see openings. God knows how, because go back and watch it. I've watched the replay, and he was getting, I don't know how he was able to see in any of these openings, because his head was going left and right, getting snapped all over the place. But fair play to him, he clearly did see something. Although actually, I don't know if he saw something. I just think, to be honest, when you actually look how Conlan got clipped, when you actually look how Leigh Wood turned Conlan, turned Michael statue, yeah, 100%. Leigh Wood turned Michael the statue Conlan. I mean, stiffened him right up for him. Made him take a seat. Made him take a seat in the spectators. And I'm hearing now, I spoke to one of Mickey Conlan's campmates, and they told me that the reason what happened, well, the reason the finish transpired the way it did was because Mickey Conlan decided he wanted to see how the fight looked from the spectators. Yeah, and apparently he didn't want to buy a ticket, so he thought, you know what, I'm just going to go take a seat at ringside. Yeah, no ticket paid. And I'm hearing actually Eddie Hearn's quite pissed off that Mickey Conlan has actually stolen a ticket. Yeah, I'm hearing Eddie Hearn is actually going to try and charge Mickey Conlan for taking a ringside seat. They're not cheap, you know. You're not Eddie's like Eddie love coin. Yeah, Eddie's decided. Listen, you can't. There's no free tickets here, Mickey. I know you think I'll just slip out the ring and get no. Eddie wants his $2,500 for ringside seats. Yeah, there's a reason tickets cost money, and I'm afraid there's no sneaky. You know what I mean? There's no sneaky ones there. Mickey Conlan thought he was sneaky. Oh, you know what? Let me go and take a seat. No. You ain't sitting outside the ring, you must pay, 100%. But also, I'm hearing Leigh Wood laid their hands on Mickey Conlan so hard, Mickey Conlan decided he didn't want to be in there no more. Yeah, he thought he'd take a step out the ring. He thought this was some WWE tag team thing. He tagged out, 100%. Anyway, listen, let me finish off with some more technical parts of this fight. Because like I said, I ain't gonna lie to you, I think Leigh Wood gassed. Leigh Wood saying, yeah, I saw things, you ain't see nothing. I think, having watched how the finish transpired, I think Leigh Wood was just doing what he'd been doing the whole night, and exchanging. And it just so happened, I think the cardio, I think it was a lucky shot, but I think Mickey Conlan was just a bit tired. When you're backpedaling all night, it's knackering. It's knackering work to be backpedaling. And Mickey Conlan backpedaled the whole night, and he got caught with not a lucky shot, but that's what it comes down to, in my opinion. It wasn't the way that Leigh Wood was just swinging left and right, it wasn't no finesse. It wasn't like a one where, he walked him onto something. No, this was literally, Mickey Conlan got backed into the ropes, and throughout the fight, Mickey Conlan almost, again, he started taking things for granted. Periodically throughout the fight, Mickey Conlan sat on the ropes and tried to pull a Mayweather. Had his shoulder roll guard up and was kind of slipping and sliding. And he tried that again in that last round. And unfortunately, that's what happened, you see. Too much risk taking. He got too comfortable. Yeah? He started exchanging when he didn't need to. And that's what happened there. He'll be kicking himself. But in terms of any rematch or whatever, and assuming Mickey the statue Conlan, doesn't have any long-lasting damage, I can't see how he wouldn't win the rematch. Because Leigh Wood's got a lot to improve on. Yeah, Ben Davison is a shoddy trainer. That's what this tonight's proven. Yeah. Yes, Leigh Wood caught him with a shot from the gods, but there wasn't much more than that. Let's be real now. Apart from, yes, I give Leigh Wood credit, he applied pressure the whole night. But there weren't much else going on. There really weren't. He was getting touched all over. He got Me Too'd in there, in my opinion. And yeah, he found the shot in the end, but if we're being honest with ourselves, when you look at the amount of shots Mickey Conlan landed clean, snapping shots as well, really, it should have been, you have to give Leigh Wood credit for relying on his chin. He clearly has a very good chin, because he should have been out. If anyone, honestly, if you add up all the head-rocking shots, it should have been Leigh Wood out cold. Let's be real now. That was really probably the second hard shot Leigh Wood landed the whole night, and it put him out. But fair play to him. He knocked the guy out of the ring. Yeah, Leigh Wood hit Mickey Conlan so hard, he didn't want to be there no more. Yeah, listen, Leigh put you to wood. Yeah, Leigh put you to wood. hit Mickey the statue Conlan so hard. he decided he didn't want to be in the ring no more. You know what? I think I'd rather be a spectator. Let me go take a seat outside. And he went out head first as well. His legs was like in the air, and he kind of just slooped down. That's what you call a sloop. He got hit and he slooped down. Wow, mad, wild. Yeah, he was out as well, super out. And it goes to show again. I think the last few years has been the true expose of these Instagram trainers. You got people like Adam Booth trains Mickey Conlon. Oops, yeah. I remember for years, Adam Booth. Ben Davison. These guys are C-level trainers. Let's be real now. Again, Adam Booth had Josh Kelly. Josh Kelly throws 7 hooks. Oops, he gets punked by some next European don. Yeah, all these so-called A-level trainers, they're bang average at best. And they produce shoddy fighters, is my opinion, shoddy. Leigh Wood was shoddy tonight. Mickey Conlon was alright, but again he was shoddy. And when it's all said and done, he ended up a statue. He ended up stiff as a board. He was so stiff. Yeah, Mickey Conlon was so stiff. He was frozen in the sitting down position and literally just pivoted out of the ring. He didn't move. Yeah, genuinely, he didn't move. He was that stiff. If you actually watch the KO, he got clipped and he was in a squatting down position, and all he did, his body didn't lengthen out until gravity stretched him out on his final descent to the floor. But trust me, when he got hit in that squatting down position, he literally just pivoted out of the ring. He was that stiff. It's rock hard. Yeah, true statue. Leigh Wood hit him with a statue. Leigh put you to wood. Yeah, that's what he will do. 100%. Leigh put you to wood. Leigh put you to wood. That's his name from now on. Don't hear no more about it. Yeah, and trust me, I bet there's a whole bag of you mans. I bet there's a whole bag of you floppy mans who are going to be ringing Leigh Wood tonight and saying, "Listen, I need my missus wants to be rock hard like Mickey Conlon was, 100%. You know what I mean? One of them ones. Everyone wants a piece of Leigh Wood right now. Trust me, they need the wood. They want the wood. Your missus wants the wood bad. Anyway, listen. Both men, either way, even though sloppy technique and sloppy trainers, as far as commitment goes, and I will say that this fight was another example, alongside Josh Taylor and Jack Casserole, that clinching does need to be banned. When you think about the last 2 rounds, when there was much less clinching, it was much more entertaining, and it was much more actually seeing skills. I believe there's no place for clinching in the sport. I think really maybe there should be a rule, a bit like, I think there should be a finite number of clinches you can use. Maybe 1 per round. Each fighter is allowed to engage a clinch once per round. Anything more than that, you get a point deducted. That's how it should be. Or maybe you get 3 for the whole fight. You're allowed 3 clinches in the whole fight. Yeah, a clinch should be used sparingly and as an emergency option. It shouldn't be a go-to. Yeah, that's an emergency option, and you should be penalised for overusing it. Otherwise, you just look at Klitschko, bored the life out of everyone, and it's not skills. It's not boxing. Boxing isn't about go and join the wrestling team. Yeah, if you want to hug some next sweaty man, go and join wrestling. Boxing should be about the sport of defense and offense, not the sport of clinging onto a sweaty man for your dear life. That's what we don't want to see. I want to see, if you're worried, I want to see sharp defense. I want to see you slipping, sliding and rocking, rolling and whatever else you can think of. That's where the sport should be heading towards. Not, well, I can hit someone and then clinch them all night and that's going to be my strategy, Jack Casserole. Yeah, that's no good. Learn to hit and slip and slide and move your feet or whatever you need to do. Yeah? That's what people should be focusing on. You shouldn't be focusing on, well, I can just hit you and clinch you all night. No one wants to watch that. And when you compare the last 2 rounds, when there was much less clinching, much more entertaining and much more skills based. If you can't be defensive without clinching, you need to go and join the wrestling team, like I told you. But yeah, all in all, both men super committed. Both men put a lot of boxers to shame tonight. Yes, sometimes, yes, I've been critical in some areas, but in terms of their willingness was A1. Very few fighters can say they've got more willingness than both men tonight, and that's something that we must hold in high regard, given where the sport finds itself. In as much as, look at Anthony Johnston. Anthony Johnston making £30 million, and did you see any of them qualities? Lee Wood was getting rocked the whole night and still came forward and still tried to find a way to win. Did you see any of that in AJ versus Usyk? No, you didn't. AJ got popped once in the first round and didn't want to know. He weren't interested no more. His ass was flapping. His sphincter muscle was swelling up. Yeah? His sphincter muscle was tightening. His ring was super tight. You best believe that, ready for Fernando to come and stretch him out for him, 100%. So people like Johnston making 30 mil need to sit their sorry ass down and watch fights like this to understand that's what it's about. It's about wanting to win, refusing to lose. Lee Wood refused to lose tonight. Mickey Conlan tried to, you know what I mean? Mickey, the statue Conlan, he tried. Yeah? And he put a good shift in as well. So if anything, them man should be splitting, in my opinion, both of them man should be splitting the 30 mil and give Johnston their pay packet. Because he don't deserve 30 mil. That performance was a 200 grand performance in my opinion at best. Maybe not even that.